You're tuning in to Felly's Fishbowl, a marketing podcast for the entrepreneur that wants to create a feel-good business model. On this show, you'll be given the permission slip you've been missing to make that change and start building the business you originally dreamed about. Stick around for solo and interview episodes talking all things content creation and marketing. Sound good to you? Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to another episode of Felly's Fishbowl. Today we have a very special guest who I'm excited to bring to all of you because this is an important topic that keeps becoming more and more important as the social media platforms continue to change. I personally perceived this as something that was more search engine, Pinterest, and blog post, website specific, but now we're seeing trends that it is affecting your Instagram and your TikTok accounts. Don't know about Facebook, we're going to ask, but I would love to introduce you to our guest today, Seren.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Could you give everyone a little introduction to who you are, what you're about, and yeah.
Totally. So I am a SEO and blog strategist. I have been in business since like end of 2020, early 2021. I love SEO. I live in the trenches of it. And yeah, I mainly help like creative entrepreneurs, just like get their blog strategy sorted, get their SEO sorted. Yeah, and I love it. It's awesome work.
Can you give our listeners a little explanation of what SEO is? Because I know this is something that is a bit confusing to some people.
Totally, yeah. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's essentially like the practice of, well, if you're talking about websites, it's the practice of improving a website like so much that like search engines like Google and Bing can understand the site better to better rank it for its target keywords. But if you're talking in terms of like social media, it's essentially just like pleasing the algorithms to get your content, found through like searches.
I love that, pleasing the algorithm, because that seems like what we're all working towards half the time.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how did you end up in the niche of SEO? How did you turn into that? Because that's not the common path that I see most content marketers taking.
So it all started for me when I was doing a master's in digital marketing strategy. That was when I really first discovered SEO, and then I just kind of fell in love with it. Like of all the digital marketing channels, like ads and social media, it just stood out to me that it was like the biggest bang for your buck over the long term. So I was just like, wow, this is so powerful. Like I want to learn more. So I even did my capstone project, like working with a local business on their SEO. And then just ever since then, I've just been just really into it. I mean, it's just so powerful. Yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, I understand, because I started this year. I never really gave it much thought before, but this is my third year in business, and it was part of my learning skills for the year was to learn and understand SEO so I could start better ranking on my website, because I'm in a bit of a niche market with content repurposing, and I was like, yeah, let's get ranking on Google, because this will really work for me, as it's not such a big keyword as of yet.
Yeah, getting ahead of the competition. No, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Do you notice any big differences between like what TikTok is asking people and what Instagram is asking people when it comes to SEO?
I would say the biggest difference in their SEO like capabilities right now is TikTok is definitely much more advanced because it's based on, interests and stuff. Like searching for, like, for example, if you wanted to search for like what is, I don't know, organic marketing or something like that, like your post like on that, like a video on that is going to get you found through that search, versus like if you search for something like that on TikTok, it'd be harder. I mean, sorry, on Instagram, it'd be harder to like get your post surfaced for that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like TikTok is turning into a full-on video search engine
Mm.
with the way that they're approaching SEO, but also with the way that the younger generations are using the platform.
Yeah, totally. I that actually reminds me, there's a you might have actually heard there's a Google internal study found that like about 40% of Gen Z is
Mhm.
using TikTok instead of Google, but a lot of places kind of misframed that stat and said it's just kind of like overall, but it's actually 40% of Gen Z like they're not like completely moved over to Google. It's they're using TikTok. I mean, sorry, completely moved over to TikTok. They're using it to for like higher level searches, like informational searches, like what is, how to, why, and then like does kind of type questions, and then also to find like reviews for products. Like so especially like if you're in e-commerce, getting on TikTok is definitely a big bonus.
No, that's such a good point though, because it makes it like a better thought for us when we're creating our hooks and stuff and even captions too of what to say. It's those types of questions like how to, why, and that's
Yeah.
going to automatically improve versus if you say like 3 ways to, like we do on Instagram, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what are the similarities that you're seeing through the platforms? Because I know that Instagram has started to use less hashtags more and more, and I can see it on my explore page that they are like implementing SEO in the way that things come up when you search. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I don't really search on Instagram beyond looking through my followers or looking for new followers.
Yeah, yeah. In terms of similarities, like I would say they both are prioritizing, I mean, like keywords. That's pretty a big similarity. Like, putting keywords in like your name field, for example, on Instagram, using hashtags, putting keywords in like the description or the captions for your posts. Both platforms prioritize that. Um, so like the capability, like the SEO capabilities of both platforms are relatively similar. It's just like their algorithms are
Mhm.
are the difference that sets their SEO apart.
Yeah, I think we all know that Instagram's algorithm is not very well liked, and they tend to not do things that we want.
Hmm.
Where I think TikTok has been more intuitive in that approach, that they are trying to make it a platform that people enjoy and not moving away from the things that we really like using on it. They like hone in on that instead of removing it like the other one has.
Yeah, totally, totally.
And what about the other social media platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook? I'm sure Twitter is also SEO friendly with the way it's laid out, but
Being honest, I haven't seen much in terms of SEO, like they're prioritizing SEO and on those platforms. Um, yeah, so I'm not quite sure about like I haven't seen a big push with LinkedIn and like uh yeah, like
yeah,
Twitter necessarily, but like of course Pinterest, YouTube, those guys are big in SEO.
yeah, because I see like LinkedIn and Facebook are really about like the recommendations, like with
Hmm.
Facebook, it's like, okay, you're in this group, so you might like this group, and it's based on like other people in this group are in that group. And same for LinkedIn, it's like, okay, you commented on this person's post, or this person commented on a post, and we think you're gonna like it. It's really more referral algorithm, I guess, if that's a thing, versus like the search engine SEO specific.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Yeah, I see that too. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future they might, pivot towards more SEO, but like
It would be smart.
especially yeah, yeah, especially given like especially on Facebook, like if they wanted to move into like SEO to like find like e-commerce reviews, like product reviews and stuff. I mean, I could see that happening.
Definitely. Yeah, if you could type in like best shaver, I don't know. Like, if you could actually type in
Yeah.
things and get real results, because half the time I'm trying to search for something, like I live in Mexico, and so I'll search like the city I live in, and it'll give me all these places around the world that aren't where I live. And I'm like, come on,
Mm,
how do you
yeah.
not categorize like based on my area? Don't give me the entire world. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
do you have
No,
any?
there's definitely a lot of, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's definitely a lot of potential there.
Yeah, they like definitely. I feel like both, like any meta thing has potential, but are they going to realize it or are they going to get canceled
Yeah,
before it happens? Is the real
yeah.
question.
That's the big question. Yeah.
So second to last question. Do you have any tips for our audience to better optimize their social media through SEO?
Yeah. So for Instagram, I would say, well, for both actually, for both Instagram and TikTok, but more important on TikTok is really incorporating search-friendly content into your content strategy. So, like we kind of touched on earlier, answering questions like what is, how to, does, why, questions like that are really going to, I mean, those are the keywords that people are searching for. So, like, I saw um, there's even this kind of hidden, or it's not hidden, but like less used tactic on TikTok, which is adding the title of the video. So like if you were doing a video about like um what is I don't know, TikTok SEO or something like that, you would put the title of the video in the first, like as text in the first 1 to 5 seconds of your video. And I
Mhm.
saw that this is a more powerful effect in TikTok's algorithm than just like putting keywords in like the caption or hashtags and like not doing that. So it's like that's the number one thing I would say for TikTok.
Yeah, because I've seen that with like some of the creators that I follow on TikTok. They'll say like put the keywords in the text on screen, in
Hmm.
the like as you're speaking captions, whatever those are called, subtitles, but also like in the description caption. So it's like putting it in all the places helps your performance, not just putting it in the description or putting it in text on screen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was reading earlier actually about like the intricacies of TikTok's SEO, and that's totally true. Like I that's it's crazy like how their algorithm is so sensitive to
Mhm.
like all the little details of each video. It's crazy.
Which is why it doesn't surprise me that the amount of time it takes for your SEO word to show up would also affect that ranking because yeah, it's like you want to hook them in the first 5 seconds, right? So that's when you want to have the SEO title also visible, like not at the end.
Yeah, true, true. It's also going to make it more clickable. Like if someone
Mhm.
searches for something and then sees like, oh, this video is exactly what I searched for, they're going to be more likely to click on it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on like the clickbaity titles?
Oh gosh. Um, I personally really hate clickbait.
Hmm.
Um, but they do get clicks, right? That's why people use them. But I think the key in clickbait is if you use a clickbait title is to really make sure that you deliver on what you're saying in the title and not make the person feel like or not make the watcher feel like, oh my God, they tricked me, they fooled me. I feel bad. Now I have negative feelings leaving this interaction. I don't want to ever like come across them again, just making sure that like whatever you're saying, you're following through.
Oh, I completely agree because that's I have the same thoughts that the clickbait has a bad name because so many people use clickbait titles and then didn't deliver. Like they just used it for the clicks, but didn't actually follow through on what they'd said. And I think, especially with the platform like TikTok, where people are like consuming fast, when people do these like 3 minute videos and they take so long to get to the point or they go on this long-winded story, you lose the people. I'm not going to
Yeah.
watch like now that you can skip ahead in videos, but like if it's a 60-second one and I can't skip ahead and you're just like droning on and you haven't delivered on what you said in the first 5 seconds, I'm skipping.
Yeah, yeah. No, totally. I totally agree. The instant, endless infinite scroll of TikTok, it's
Mhm.
it's competitive. You gotta prove your value up front or people are just gonna move on.
Exactly, that's it. You have to prove that you're valuable upfront, otherwise they're not going to continue to consume your content.
Hmm. Totally, totally.
All right, so do you have any predictions for SEO in the new year of what you think is going to come or changes you think you'll see on these platforms?
So one prediction is I definitely see like Google incorporating more and more TikTok videos into their search results. They've already started doing this, but I just like it's just gonna keep getting more and more ingrained because Google wants Gen Z on their platforms. So that's one thing. And in terms of like Instagram and TikTok SEO, the trend seems to be that they are investing more into their SEO because, I mean, logically, there is, a lot of revenue to be made from searches like that, recommending, like product reviews and stuff. So that could even become more of a thing. And then my third prediction I wanted to mention is when I was researching like TikTok SEO and stuff, I found that their parent company, ByteDance, actually has created kind of like an app that's really similar to TikTok, but it's just in China. But they've experimented with like partnering with local businesses and offering like coupons and stuff through the app. So there's speculations that maybe TikTok might do the same thing or incorporate like that kind of aspect into TikTok too, because they are investing more heavily into SEO. So that could be interesting to see if they're going to do that or not.
Yeah, that would be interesting because I know like there's now the ability to add location tags on TikTok, but I've never found those do anything. Like being in Mexico, I always try to change my location to other countries. Like English speaking Canada and the US most of the time. And I've never seen any differences in the videos that I've added tags to versus the ones where I don't. Like I always still have quite a high percentage of Latin American countries viewing my videos. So I'd be curious if they would zone in more on like local SEO and like putting effort. I wish they would move away from following the SIM card in your phone because that is what kills me. But like I'm curious if they will kind of put more effort on like local SEO in the new year. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think so. Because, there is so much money to be made for for them through that I think that's where it's headed.
Cool. I like that. All right. Okay. Final segment is the rapid fire section. And I have 4 questions for you today. Just answer with the first thing that comes to mind because that's what makes it the most fun. And it's just to let people get to know you a little bit. I just like to crack jokes all the time. They're not serious. None of them are serious, actually, no. Actually, okay, the last one's a little more, but the rest of them are just for fun. So, favorite age you've lived so far?
Probably the one I'm currently in. I mean, I just feel like just every year it gets a little bit better. So yeah.
That's great. I don't agree. I had better years. Do you remember your dreams in the morning?
Oh, sometimes. I feel like if I have like nightmares, then I'll definitely remember them in the morning. I don't know why. Like the negative things stick with you and like the positive things. Like we want the opposite, right? It's very frustrating.
And what's a word you can't stand to hear?
I don't know. Oh, that's so hard.
All right, we'll go to the last question.
Okay.
That's the best unexpected advice you've ever received.
Unexpected.
Maybe just the best advice.
The best advice, yeah. I would say I'll try to relate it to like business. I would say best advice I received in business is probably do what you're gonna say you're gonna do and just be kind. I feel like that goes a long way, especially in our industry, like in the online space. And yeah, I mean it costs nothing, it's free. So yeah, no, that'd probably be the best advice.
Yeah, I feel like everybody can benefit from someone being kind. So it definitely does go a long way in this online world where sometimes people aren't as real as they say.
Yeah. I've seen it too. It's not nice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's everything I had for you today. All the questions I wanted to ask to give our listeners a little bit of an insight into SEO and how they can better improve their Instagrams and your TikToks so that you can start showing up in people's searches, because that's how you're going to get that organic reach that we're all craving. I wanted to ask you, Seren, do you have anything you would like to share, promote? Where can the people find you?
Yeah, sure. So I'm most active on Instagram. I definitely love to connect with anyone that's interested in SEO. Feel free to follow, I'll follow. And then I also have a free SEO guide that's as a freebie you can grab if you want to. It's just at sweetseedigital.com/free-SEO-guide. And I think it's going to be in the show notes too. Yeah, and that's just 5 steps that you'll need to do in any case to set up your website's SEO. So it's just a good foundational guide for beginners.
It's focused on website SEO.
Yeah, website SEO. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
No, that's good. Good to know, because I think that's the harder one.
Mm.
The more robust one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us and sharing everything about SEO. Like Seren mentioned, her Instagram link, website link, and freebie will be linked in the show notes. So please go have a look, send her a message, tell her what you liked about the show, and I'll see you next week.